voice.
All right.
Use your voice all day. Use your voice, okay? Swannaroos on 3. 1, 2, 3. Swannaroos!
Let's go, boys!
1, 2, 3.
Strong in that quarter was fantastic.
North Carolina and Virginia border each other, and in so many ways in the sports lives over the past who knows how long have had some rivalries in sports. But today, one more rivalry will put things to the test, as the hometown North Carolina Tigers, coming into this game at 2-0, will try and take out a regional title, their first in 8 seasons. Standing in their way is the Virginia Lions, who are after their second straight regional. And all that's standing in the way is the Tigers and a bit of math. Good day, everyone. I'm Brian Barish. This is the 6th and final game of the day, and it pits the North Carolina Tigers and the Virginia Lions. The Tigers are a complete side taking on a Lions team that has had the help of the Bayou Brawlers and the Baton Rouge Tigers. The situation is this. If the Tigers win the game, they are the Southeast Region champions. Virginia still has a hope of doing it, but they have to win by at least 41 points. And we're not sure of the exact math, but every couple of points that the Tigers score, that target will go up by 1. But right now, if they were to keep the Tigers off the board completely, it would be 41 points that they would need in order to do it. They've come close earlier, but they're going to have to do it against arguably one of the best teams in this region. The Tigers are wearing the yellow with a black sash, and it looks like they'll be heading from left to right on your screen, while the Lions are wearing the maroon with the yellow. They'll be heading from right to left. This match will also determine, and we'll just tell you it's a very close race, but it will also determine who wins best and fairest. And depending on the result, it may also determine who wins the MVP award. The siren goes. The umpire is ready. So are we. We're underway here in the 6th and final game. Sending this one on, going down. Going after it is Will Mussack, one of the Bayou Brawlers out of New Orleans. Big tackle thrown in and picking up the ball and sending this one down the line. And going to get picked up by Hampton Bender. Bender on the left wing, from his perspective, lets his players get in front of him, puts the ball down, sending this one down the line, through the hands, and rolling over the boundary line and out of bounds. Now, last week in the game that decided the championship, which was the New York Magpies and the Philadelphia Hawks, the game was not close at all. In fact, the Magpies scored twice in the first 90 seconds of the game and went on to win by 10 goals, 69-9. We haven't had that sort of game just yet in this one. Sent in, it's marked. Doing well in the back there was the 27, which is Brian Patterson. Patterson comes out to the near side. Going after it was Mo Cruz. Mauricio Cruz sends that one goalward. And it's gone through 4 behind, and there's the first score of the game. North Carolina 1 behind, Virginia no score. As we mentioned, North Carolina last won a regional title. Now, they won it on their own. We'll say this. They've won it on their own in 2017, but they had several players, a part of the D2 Super Regional winning team last season in Ohio, and they combined with DC. But this would be the first time as a flagship team that they've won. Virginia was a part of the Division III Super Regional Championship team a season ago with Chicago. Ball is up in the air, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in once again. Temperature has been in the 80s for most of the afternoon after being in the 70s in the morning. 87 degrees. Free kick It was a deliberate out of bounds that was ruled. Able to get it out, and the mark was taken by Keith Phillips. Phillips, the Eastern Regional Vice President, done a fantastic job of putting together not one but two tournaments this year. Kick is up on the way. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. It lands in no man's land and diving after the ball. And that was definitely him diving for it. The ball goes over the boundary line. In fact, no, it was a McAvaney umpire has called out a push, and it'll be a free kick. Our umpires have done a magnificent job all day, as they always do. And I'm not just saying that because there's one in earshot. We mentioned umpire Tara Murray was out there with the GoPro to get some footage of the umpires. Kick is on the way, and it's dead center perfect, and the Tigers get the first sausage roll of the game. 4 minutes gone in this first half of the final game. North Carolina goes to 1-1-7 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Virginia no score. And we mentioned that in order for the Lions to perhaps come away with the trophy, they would need to win by 41 or more points. And every once in a while, that target will go up if the Tigers score. So not looking great. And the other side of this is that if the Tigers end up winning by enough points, then that will push the Lions back into third as the ball comes down. Gonna go get this one. Big tackle put in there, and we'll have a ball up. In there was the 16 for North Carolina, which was Lester Powling. Meyer, who's done a fantastic job in the ruck against Zachary Lewis, will probably have his best test. Here is Meyer. Good kick into the forward line. Takes a nasty bounce, however, and McKenzie is able to get it out the back. Overcooked the handball, however. McCormick able to try to knock him down. He stays with the play, though. Big tackle, and he is G-O-N-E gone as he was able to chase down Michael McCall. Free kick. McCormick has played splendidly. Kicking this one in. Ball gets knocked down, cleared out now. And the mark taken by McCall once again. Mark. And this time it's Will Mussack. We were mentioned in the last game that he is Will Mussack the third as he finds a connection in Luke Becker. Becker turns around, and it's turned over as McKenzie takes the mark. Will Mussack, both his father and his grandfather has played on these fields, and his uncle Mickey is here, and he was telling me that he's played on these fields as well. So a little bit of a homecoming, perhaps, for Will Mussack, and doing it on a day when his Bayou Brawlers play in their first ever regional tournament. Of course, they'll be well represented at the Western Regional as well. And this one is scootered along. Comes out now. Over to go and pick that one up, and getting round is McKenzie. McKenzie sends this one down over everybody. It's a 2-on-1, but he's got position. No, and he's going to get taken down. But it went through, and perhaps Brian Verbacek a little unlucky not to get the call, but the point goes to the Tigers now, 1-2-8, 7 minutes gone. Brian Barish here with you. Glad to have your company, and our thanks to you for if you've stuck with us the entire day. And we get these games streamed. Of course, we'll be at the halfway point of the Tasmanian Regional Championship Series. We'll be in Olathe, Kansas in 2 weeks' time. For the Central Regionals, we'll have a field of 6 teams from up and down the region. And 9 games. If you're in the Kansas City area, make the trip out to Olathe and join us. Takes the mark, almost took the mark, spoiled it. Handballs it across to Robinson. Robinson goes in short, off the feet, gets this one away. Up the far side where it's marked in the fence by Josh Duckworth. Duckworth has had his share of goals. Picked up, handball, sends this one in and across the face. Yarnell is in, sends this one in, and does that get tapped through? Yes, it did. So it's a rush behind. Watch AFL scoreboard after 8.5 minutes. North Carolina 1-3-9, Virginia nothing. And the Tigers, again, if they win, they'll win the championship. But they also have a 40-plus point buffer. So Virginia needs about 50 points, and they need so in 1.5 periods. And they're not going to get it on this occasion because it's Curtis O'Brien who has the free kick. O'Brien's kick on the way. Looks good off the boot. And the umpire says, 2 pies, please. Second goal of the game for the Tigers. O'Brien, who I think is up to 4 or 5 now. It's 2-3-15 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Virginia no score. The Tigers have a Division IV national championship to their name. They've won in national championship. They've won a couple. And they've always been in that Division III, Division IV realm. And they've always played tough. And Virginia, as we mentioned, being founded by Darren Green in 2018. And you're curious as to why they're the Lions. Well, he's from Brisbane, and he is very much a Lions. He's a rabid Lions supporter. Hit out, won by Meyer, who found Williams, who turned the ball over. Ball comes down now. Ball gets knocked down, going to get picked up. And we have a free kick. Will go the way of McCall. Michael McCall boots it. Ball goes down. Going to get sent by Doden, sent on the way by Mo Cruz. That just goes off to the side for a behind. So the Tigers have had 6 scoring shots. They've only converted on 2 so far. They lead 16-0. That's on the Watch AFL scoreboard. And our thanks to Tasmania and all of our sponsors, the Greater Raleigh Sports Authority. Sports Alliance, sorry. This ball goes down. Ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Well, the Tigers, and if you're a fan of the Richmond Football Club, you'll know that their song Tigerland, arguably the best song in Aussie Rules football, arguably, and I say that as a proud Hawthorne Hawks supporter, is going up to grab it was Gordon Robinson. Robinson sends it back the other way. He drops in front. The ball hangs up, gets away. Gilhaney. Gilhaney took a swing and a miss. He was taken down, holding the ball. And the Lions will get a free kick. Free kick to the Lions. Goes out the far side now. And up the near side, they'll send it down. Well, we are aware that we have lost the picture momentarily, so we ask you to stand by. We are still here on audio, and we'll tell you that the ball was marked by Stu McKenzie, who has it in the middle of the ground for the Tigers, who plays out to the far side. McKenzie has the football now. He played it out on the wing position. Sending this one down the line is Karutz. Karutz for North Carolina. Almost marked in front. The Tigers are going to get a goal. as Michael McCall picked up the garbage and rammed the ball home. That's another one for the Tigers. McCall gets his first of the day, I believe. That's the third for the Tigers. They go to 3-4-22. And Virginia, no score. And we're back live on the video side. 13 minutes gone here in the first term. And the Tigers look just about certain to win this regional title. We said the margin coming in was 41. It is still 41 points is what Virginia would need to perhaps sneak this one out. So they require 63 points at this point. So 11 goals in the span of 26-odd minutes. Drops in front. There's a shot for goal. They're going to get one of them back. There's the umpire waiting. Sid Caesar was waiting, but it's slapped into the goalpost as Nick Adrianci almost had the chance. So, boundary throw-in. Ball hits the behind post. It's treated as if it's going out of bounds. Ball gets knocked down. They toe tap it in front. And the umpire says, we'll give it to me and we'll have a ball up. Some of the teams we'll see next week will include the 2 weeks rather, Minnesota Freeze, Chicago Swans, Wisconsin Wombats, Nashville Kangaroos. That got away with a throw perhaps as Hansen sends the ball down the ground. Bounces away. Ooh, big shove put in there by Duckworth, and perhaps he should have shouted his own name to warn that the shoulder was coming in, but a good hip and shoulder. Keeley was held up for Virginia. Got the ball away, picked off. That shouldn't have been a mark, I don't think, but they'll pay it anyway as Wiley sends this one down and it's marked. So here once again is Stephen McLean, who has kicked a goal in the second game. Very adept at these set shots. McLean strides forward, leans back, kick is up on the way. Distance shouldn't be an issue. It is straight and majestic like a flatulent moth. And Stephen McLean has put the Lions on the board finally. Watch AFL scoreboard. Virginia 1 straight 6. They trail by 16 points. North Carolina 3-4-22. They only need 57 more. Only, he says. Four minutes to go, roughly until halftime. Our final game of the day here at Miller Fields. And it's nice to come back. It's a narrow strip here, and as we said, the fields are a little bit narrower than what we normally play on. That said, it does feel very cozy in a good way here. And a lot of history. As we said, Will Mussack, a lot of his family have come to NC State and has played on these fields. And these fields have been around for some time. We were here last in 2017, a year that Baltimore-Washington won the regional men's regional championship. North Carolina won in Division II. And New York won on the women's side, combined with Philadelphia. Pushed him out of the way, sending this one forward. Oh, good spoil there by Meyer going up against Karutz. Ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Under 3 minutes to go here in this first half. Ball comes spitting back in the play. And Meyer caught that one off the inbound. Handballs it over. Here is Phillips, who picks it up. Little shovel handball. Got it away. Handballs it over. Yarnell sending that one in. It bounces away. Chasing after it is Fogarty. But the Lions get it out of there for now. Off the head, getting Falcon there was Hansen. Ball handballs up over the top. There is Phillips, who was harassed. And we have a whistle, and a scoop is called. Free kick going the way of the Tigers. They lead 22-6 with under 2 to go on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Phillips to a wide-open O'Brien. O'Brien turns. He curly cues this ball too much. As Gilheeney had it, and he was dragged down. Umpire says free kick. So it'll come out to the Lions as Patterson plays it out. Big tackle. Here is Phillips. Here is Yarnell, who sends this one in. Good kick, but right to a defender. Coming up on the final minute. Plays it out to the far side, looking for Keeley. And Keeley spears this one low. Drops in front. Ooh, Degas was sent flying. O'Brien sends it flying and sailing Christopher Cross style. And that somehow managed, I believe, to find the field of play and then goes out of bounds. The Tigers leading 22-6 here. Beginning of the day by defeating Maine 39-7 rather, and then handling Wilmington to the North Carolina Derby 48-7. The Lions defeated Wilmington 46-31, and then defeated Maine fell to Maine 36-20. They work the ball forward, and there's the horn. Well, there's the first 20 minutes, and that's how much closer the Tigers are to winning another regional championship. Virginia needs, well, we'll say on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's the North Carolina Tigers, 3 goals, 4 behinds, 22 points. Virginia 1 straight 6. The target for the Lions is 63 points, so they need 57 more in order to have a chance. So we'll see if that happens. We've played 5.5 halves of Aussie Rules football. The final 20 minutes are on the other side of this break. You're watching the 2025 USAFL Southeast Region Championships from Raleigh, North Carolina, presented by Tasmanian here on AussieRulesUSA.com. And we're back here for the final 20 minutes of the 2025 USAFL Southeast Region Championships presented by Tasmanian here from Raleigh, North Carolina. Brian Barish back here with you. The North Carolina Tigers leading the Virginia Lions 22-6. And as we mentioned before the break, the Lions need 57 more points in order to capsize the Tigers. And the way things are going, it doesn't look likely. And the one thing is at least this game is closer than the last game last week. As we mentioned on the men's side, the New York Magpies beating the Philadelphia Hawks by 10 goals. But these two teams have played 3 games, and this is the last 20 minutes that they will play. They played 100 minutes of Aussie Rules football with some breaks in between, but still. As this one is sent down the line over the top. Big tackle laid in there. Ball comes free. Going to get it and getting held up. And we'll have a ball up. Ball comes back in the play once again. There is Hansen running on through to the other side. He'll go and get it. Little shovel handball. There's Phillips. And going all the way back, there's going to be a whistle. And a free kick. So the Tigers, and this is O'Brien, I believe. We'll find out in a second. I don't think it is now. Nope, 53. Kick is up on the way. There is no 53 out there that I can see, but in any event, you don't have to worry about awarding him a goal. It's a behind. So 23-6 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. A minute 45 gone. Ball is marked. They play it up on the far side. Pitchfork handball, slapped all the way back. And it's going to be picked up by Mo Cruz. Mauricio Cruz sends it down. The ball will bring some rain. Going and picking that one up is Kurtz. Couldn't get to it. Cleared out for the time being. Going to get picked up by the 56. Little handball. Turns and fires. Gilhaney. Pierce Gilhaney with another one. 4-5-29. And that's, by my count, 6 goals for Pierce Gilhaney. So 29-6. And I would dare say that even if and again, now we're looking at 63 points that they would require. So maybe 64 actually. So the Tigers look to be home irrespective of whether they go undefeated or not. Ball gets knocked forward. Gonna get picked up. Ball goes down. He tries to get the ball out, and Seth McIlvaney will come up, tosses the ball to the heavens. Meyer definitely in the conversation for best and fairest, irrespective of what happens in this game. Ball is knocked forward some more. And we'll have a free kick. It will go the way of the Tigers. And nope, they got to set the line up. And McKenzie, as they didn't get the memo downfield, or at least Trey Arnold did. But Ian McCormick did not, and McCormick is walking the ball back. And normally when you're down 23 points, you don't want to waste that much time, but I think we're all just ready to go to the Hibernian afterwards as the ball is sent down the line. There's a hand pass. Good hand pass. Look to find Hampton Bender. Bender has a bounce. Now handballs it on to the mystery number 56, who sends the ball up high. One-on-one contest marked out the back by Curtis O'Brien. And he'll go back. O'Brien. He'll go back. Stride forward. Kick is up on the way. Fading right. But still through for a goal. Another one for O'Brien. 5-5-35 North Carolina. 1 straight 6 Virginia. Well, the one shred of good hope, if you're the Maine Cats, that means you're going to finish second in your first major tournament.
Hands up, Virginia! Let's get this back!
And you hear the booming voice of Bryant Dagas from the Baton Rouge Tigers, who came up with the rest of the boys from the Bayou Brawlers, urging his team to get this one back. Virginia has done a fantastic job all day. They're going to come up short, I believe, but not for the want of trying, and the mark was taken. And here's an opportunity now. Good mark taken. Kick is on the way. It's short. It gets knocked around. As that was Bridges who had the attempt for goal. There's a chance in front by Mussak. Oh, it was deflected. Oh, and his cheering section on the far side, as we mentioned, his aunt and uncle and sister are here. Ball is in the pocket now. Centers out in front. There is Phillips, who is trying to get it out for North Carolina. The Lions knocking on heaven's door, but not going to let them in that easily. Ball gets taken down, and we'll have a free kick. It'll go the way of the Tigers. Tackle without the ball. McCall looking for Yarnell. Trey sees it bounce away from him, and the ball tumbles over for a boundary throw-in. Brian Barish here with you, and our thanks to a number of different people on this day. Mentioned Jerry Long, our production manager, as here comes Keith Phillips sending this one down the line. Picked off by Virginia. Little shove by O'Brien. Ball is taken around, goes around now. This is Bender, who is one of the Bayou boys, and he was taken down. McKenzie takes the mark. McKenzie out to the near side. Yarnell marked. Nice mark by Trey Arnold. Philadelphia native goes down the line. Oh, great job. Great job by Pierce Gilheeney. Gilheeney has another bounce. Now goes into like a little walking motion, and then, wow, he had all sorts of time, but they forced the turnover. Sending this one down the line, juggled and marked. Here is ball in the middle of the ground. It's Gilheeney. Sent in on the way, marked in front. And Kurtz will go back, and this will be from a very odd angle. O'Brien offering himself as a centering option. Kick is on the way. Stays in the field of play, but then bounces up. Umpires Sid Caesar and your show of shows says that's a behind. 5-6-36 North Carolina. 1 straight 6 Virginia. We are at the halfway point of this second half. And once again, a reminder, we'll be in Olathe, Kansas in 2 weeks' time for the Central Regionals, and then heading to Westminster, Colorado on July 19th for the Western Regionals. And the other thing that we should mention, the Odin Mortgage All Regionals team, which will recognize some of the best players over all 4 of these weekends. We have a couple already in the bag for the Northeast, from the Northeast Regionals, and a few of more players from the Southeast will be named as well. Handballs it over. Karutz sends this one deep. Nice mark by Kurtz. Dennis Kurtz sends it towards the sticks. O'Brien in the full forward position. Handballs it back. Cruz, swing and a miss, and it's going to be holding the ball. Great tackle. The Lions have not given up, even though they're down by 5 goals. Down the ground. as Mussak was offering himself as an option way out on the wing. And a free kick is given to Keeley. Michael Keeley. Ball will come out high. Drops in front. Good job. Oh, he got through the first, but not the second. McKenzie got him with a good tackle. Just right at the knees. A perfectly legal tackle. And McKenzie will go back with the free kick. 8 minutes to go on the Watch AFL scoreboard. North Carolina 5-6-36 leading Virginia 1-6. Mark defensively and a good job. As the sun setting to the west here, to our left, and Jerry Long doing his absolute best to make sure that I don't have any baked chicken legs here. My shoe is catching most of the heat. There's a shot for goal. There's another one. That is their 6th of the game. And the Tigers go to 6-6-42. They lead by 36 points. Virginia 1-6. 7 minutes to go, and it's all over bar the shouting. And the only 2 questions will be who will take home the MVP award and who will take home the best and fairest. Now, the MVP would normally go to the grand final winner in the case of a grand final, but we don't have one. So instead, it goes to the best player in the game between the top 2 teams. So right now, that looks like it will be whoever the best player was in the North Carolina main match, which was the first game of the day. Ball gets shoveled along. Drops in front. Bounces away. Setting this one down the line. Marked. And he'll take his time. 53 with it. Goes across. Looks for Hansen. Hansen's definitely in the best and fairest conversation as well. And he'll wait. Now sends this one down into the pocket where the trees are coming. And it's marked. This is Sam Johnson. Can't miss him with his bleach blonde locks and his... He looks like Cobra Kai over there. He looks like Cobra Kai, and he's named after the guy who wrote the dictionary. I love that. I love our league. What? You mean, Irvin. Urban. No, not the Urban Dictionary, the real dictionary. Dr. Samuel Johnson. Am I the only one who watches Blackadder? I guess maybe. I don't know. I mean, Samuel Johnson was a real person. He was played by Robbie Coltrane. This is what happens when it's a 42-6 game, folks, as the ball comes back in the play. I also forgot that the Urban Dictionary was a thing. Here is Phillips, who will play on. He goes across, and we have a whistle. And are we going to do this again? Why not? It'll just milk some time away. I started to thank people. I thanked Jerry already. I want to thank Ryan, our camera operator, who's done an amazing job, as all of our camera operators done. Ryan doing a great job battling the heat and all of the other stuff we've had going on as O'Brien. Our friend Roy, who's come all the way down from Richmond, Virginia. Oh, that's a nice mark. Nice mark by DeGoss. Roy's come all the way down from Richmond to take the still photographs. Of course, Keith Phillips, who's out there. He's the Eastern Regional Vice President. We thank Darren Green, who's the president of the Virginia Lions, also the USAFL Board's member at large, for really kind of keeping an eye on the stream and also working with Play HQ and getting us the rosters in a timely fashion. And Doran James, who is the executive director of the USAFL, who always puts these tournaments together. I've lost count of how many tournaments he and I have worked together and how many of these regionals we've done. And let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22 times, so that's 6 times 3. That's 18. And 2022, this is our 24th regional tournament together. And I'll tell you what, very few people in anything are irreplaceable. I will go on record saying that Doran James is damn near irreplaceable with all the work that he does behind the scenes, not just on the day, but getting to this place, setting up the after party, setting up the accommodations. Hansen goes in short, finds Johnson. The amount of work that he's done and with the rest of the board, it's been amazing. It's been another amazing day of Aussie Rules football. And again, we're only halfway done. Mark taken by Fogarty. I've definitely played against Andrew Fogarty. He's told to play on. Johnson cuts through. No, it's a 50-meter penalty as he came over the mark. And Berkeley Williams just tapped him on the back. Fogarty is going to have a shot here. He kicked the goal earlier, and the place went bananas. I have a feeling that's going to happen again. So here is Fogarty. He goes in short. He turns it over. Well, they gave him a chance, but it's Keeley. But Keeley had it. It is the commentator's curse. Now I just have to figure out how to curse other things from happening. Because a lot of times if I speak it into existence, there's a tough mark. That's going to be a free kick. Minute and a half to go, and the North Carolina Tigers are going to win. It'll be the second year in a row that the club has won, having won alongside DC the Super Regionals in Men's Division II a season ago. But it'll be their first as a standalone entity since we last played here in 2017. And I can't think of, they've really been a beacon in the Southeast region. We've seen a lot of good play today. We've seen 6 amazing games. They've been different, come in different flavors. We've seen a lot of close games. Here comes another chance for a goal, and there it is. That's their 7th. 7-6-48 for the North Carolina Tigers. And the lead out to 42 points. It's a 7-goal lead. And taking a look at the Cyber Source IQ table. North Carolina and Virginia. I didn't put this in any specific order. They have outscored their opponents 135-20. They gave up 6 points against Virginia, 7 against Maine, 7 against Wilmington. So just 3 goals they've allowed all day, and that'll do it. And the North Carolina Tigers are your 2025 USAFL Southeast Region champions. They have run the table today here at home at North Carolina State University. The final score of the final game, it's the North Carolina Tigers. 7 goals, 6 behinds, 48 points. Virginia, 1 straight 6. Congratulations to both teams, but especially to the Tigers, who, again, finished the day at 3-0 and in first place. The Maine Cats come in second with a record of 2-1. The Lions finish in a very respectable third place at 1-2. The Wilmington Bombers and the Jacksonville Saints, they played 3 very, very tough games. They equated themselves well. They finish at 4th at 0-3. So that's going to do it today. Keep an eye on our socials to find out who won the individual medals as we finish the tally of the best and fairest and the MVP. Our big thanks once again to Jerry Long, our production manager, to Ryan on the camera, and to everyone else who has brought to you today's game. We'll see you in 2 weeks in Olathe, Kansas for the Central Regionals. Until then, this is Brian Barish wishing you a pleasant good evening.